Engineering Eng. PDF document of this video is on engineereng.com.
Hi everyone, in this video we are going to make a remote controller with LED. Things we need are 4 LED resistor with 220 ohm, 1 remote controller and 1 Arduino Uno. Firstly, I'm going to wire our LEDs After wiring it, I'm going to wire our LED's negative leg and resistor to the negative line. After doing that, our positive leg should connect with the Arduino. And after we are going to place our receiver sensor and test our circuit. I connect my 220 ohm resistor from the legs of my LEDs to the negative line. After this wirings, we are going to connect our Arduino 5V pin to the positive feed line and GND pin to the negative feed line. And after that, we are going to wire these connections to below in the same way. And the same way with the negative. And later, we are going to make some wirings with Arduino's input pins to our circuit's positive legs. And I'm going to connect this one by one, starting with pin 2. For the last LED, it will wire with Arduino pin number 5. After doing this, we should place our receiver sensor to the any slot. And then this left leg goes to the negative line, middle leg goes to the positive line, and right leg to the Arduino's any pin. After doing that, our circuit is now complete. After that, we're going to set up with our circuit again, and so doing some coding, and lastly we are going to test it. Let's set up our circuit with some guidance. I take my LEDs and same before wired any slot. Later that I take negative legs and wire with negative line. After making connections LEDs with the resistor, I take my positive legs to my Arduino pins. And likewise, I'm starting with pin number 2 and ended up with number 5. After wiring, I'm going to place my receiver sensor, and I wire my receiver sensor negative leg to negative line. In other words, left leg. Middle leg goes to the positive line. Right leg goes to the number 7, which is written in our schema. After placing this, we draw a connection from our negative GND pin to the negative supply line of our circuit. And from 5 volts, we draw a connection to the positive supply line of our circuit, and that is how our circuit is set up. The next part will be coding part. See you in the next part. Hello friends, we are now coding stage of our remote controller with LEDs. I wrote my codes, friends. This section we were made our library for our remote. We were wired our remote to number 7 pins. So in here we wrote our primary codes. In here we have X codes, our remote controller. So we are identifying our 0 button to this code. For one button, we identify this code. If you are open Google and saying Arduino X codes, you can find them. In here, we will identify LED pins which we wired, and in here we identify our LED output. And this code, it's assigned for our communication. So this value is our communication speed. Here is activating our remote controller receiver. In here I wrote our primary code. This code asks us this question: did we press a button on remote controller? After receiving this question, if it is pressed, and if it's pressed on number 1 button, our LED turns on. If it's pressed on number 0, all of our LEDs goes off. In this part, it wants the next K after the first K we press the remote. So it takes the next value and the loop returns to the beginning. It's saying, did you press a button? If it's yes, it's inside and picking which button it is pressed. If it is button 1 number, 1 LED. If it's number 2 LED, it's number 3 number LED goes on. Like that, we're going to turn on LED like that. And as I said, we can receive these codes and how write these codes through Google search. This is ending coding part of our project. The next part will be to load these codes into our Arduino and test our circuit. See you in the next video. Well friends, I loaded my codes to the Arduino. We connect our button number 1 to LED number, to button number 2 LED number, to, and it goes on like that. And we identify our button 0 to with LEDs turn off comment. And the test number 1 is on, number 2, 3, 4, and when we press 0, it all goes off. That's all friends. See you in the next projects.